Today I'm revealing the secret used by all paragliding masters. It can transform your flying no matter your level. And it has nothing to do with talent, money or gear. It's the principle behind the sight records that I've set here in South Africa and the reason my students progress faster than they ever imagined. Chances are you've already felt it. It's available to you right now. All you need to know is how to access it. It's called flow state. That rare magical zone where everything just clicks. And this isn't just theory. It's the hidden foundation of mastery, backed by science that the top athletes use in all fields. Today, I'll show you how to unlock it with a proven system. It's a mental state where you perform at your peak and you enjoy every single moment. It's when you're so absorbed that everything else disappears and you become one with the activity. That moment where decisions feel automatic, anxiety vanishes, you feel deeply connected to the wing, the air, and to yourself. This isn't feel-good fluff. Science shows us that in flow, your brain processes faster, decisions sharpen, and performance skyrockets. But here's the thing, flow isn't just about performance. It's actually the safest way to fly. When you're in flow, your scanning becomes automatic. You relax, you get in touch with your glider, and you respond to the environment around you instead of reacting. Why don't more pilots then access this state more regularly? Well, the simple answer is anxiety. Anxiety pulls you out of the moment and into your head. It gets you thinking. You second guess, you hesitate, you tighten up. Your vision narrows, reaction time slows down, and your confidence fades. That's your nervous system flipping from calm and flow to fight or flight. And you can't flow when you're tense and reactive. That's why so many pilots plateau or land short of their goals. They get stuck in a loop of anxiety, worried about their XC distance, their rankings, where they're going to land, the turbulence, the weather ahead, what their friends are going to think about them. They're pulled out of the present and get stuck in the past or the future. So how do the masters consistently reach flow? Well, here's the framework that I've come up with called the flow triangle. Stephen Kotler, and the author of Stealing Fire, reminds us that flow follows focus, and focus begins with presence. Watch any paragliding Jedi and you'll see that they have some kind of routine that brings them into the here and now. You need to figure out and develop your own routines, and it starts with an awareness of how you're feeling. Sometimes that can be as crude as while you're feeling nervous on takeoff or in flight, to just be like, I'm crapping myself. Then take 3 deep breaths, feel your harness against your body. Notice your handles inside your hands. Notice the texture, how they feel against your hands, the pull of the glider. Feel the wind on your face. Then say to yourself, I've got this. It's simple but powerful. You're learning to be present in the moment and also give over trust to your instinctive subconscious self that is trained for this. Mindfulness gets you out of your head and grounds you in the now. And presence is the gateway to flow. The second part is wing mastery, and that is when control becomes automatic. Your glider becomes an extension of yourself, like another arm or a leg. Elite pilots obsess over ground handling. It's not about just being in control, it's about making the movements instinctive. Kriegel Maurer is famous for practicing ground handling in extremely strong winds, in the snow, in big snowfields where he could get dragged if he had to. He did this so that he could learn where his limits were and to sharpen his skills in a relatively controlled environment. When your control becomes second nature, your brain becomes free for other processes like decision making, noticing things around you. Because here's the truth, you can't think and feel at the same time, and flow lives in the feeling. And when it's dialed in, decisions become subconscious. Masters, just like magic, seemingly know just what to do. And here's the best part. All 3 of these can be trained by setting clear goals and using feedback to improve. Because flow doesn't happen by chance, it's built on structure. Clear intentions, measurable progress, consistent reflection. Every flight becomes a training ground, not just for the skill itself, but for flow. Kriegel doesn't miss a chance to land on the spot, even in casual flights, because he knows, like all other masters, that mastery is built on the foundations and intentional reps through practice. But there's one more thing about unlocking flow, very important, and that is the challenge skills balance. Flow lives in that sweet spot where the challenge stretches your current skill, but it doesn't overwhelm you. If it's too much of a challenge, you enter into anxiety. So if the conditions are too strong for you, you're flying a glider that's too hot for you, anything where your skills are not up to the challenge yet, you get anxiety, you're out of flow, you're not safe, you're not learning. And if your skills are too high and there's no challenge, you get bored. So your goal then is to set the challenges. Just like Kriegel's spot landing, find ways to set challenges. That way you can get yourself into flow and you'll always be learning. So the next time you fly, try setting yourself a little goal. If you're a beginner, you can launch cleanly, land softly, push just a little bit further from takeoff than you used to and come back. See how far you can glide from the mountain before you can get back to the ridge again. If you're intermediate, even on a light day, see if you can top out on the climb. And if maybe you come back for another pass, can you get an extra few meters, 2 meters, 3 meters? Stay in that lip, see if you can max it out, eke it out. Give yourself little challenges constantly. Do you usually thermal right? Maybe try turning left for the day. And if you're advanced, there's many other things you can do. Fly a new route. Maybe fly a route that you've always flown and try to fly it a little bit faster. Maybe try to fly there with a couple of friends. See if you can all fly the route together in a little gaggle. How about flying with no vario for the day? These are all the types of things that I like to try and do for myself, to challenge myself constantly so that no flight ever gets boring and that I'm always trying to hone my skills. At any level, set one clear goal just beyond your comfort zone. That is where you'll find flow. And the cool thing is that this flow triangle forms a loop. Presence clears your mind. Wing mastery frees focus. Perception guides smart decisions, and the challenge skill balance keeps you engaged. So the more present you are, the better you perceive. The better you perceive, the smoother your control. The smoother your control, the deeper your presence. And the deeper the flow, the safer, the smoother, and the more powerful your flying becomes. That is the path that every master walks. That is the secret.